Hey, so one of the questions I've been getting pretty often lately is how often I check my sugars. So I thought I would just walk through when I check my sugars. I will put it in my story and then I'll actually put it in the highlights too, so that, if you forget or if you know someone else that's diabetic, you can tell them to check it out. So I have my little lancet here right in there. I thought that would be a good prop, but I check my sugars probably 4 to 5 times a day, and it has to do with what I'm eating and what I'm doing. So I always check first thing in the morning. So wake up, that's pretty much the first thing I do, check my sugars. And then if they are good, I'm like, fabulous, I go on with my coffee. At some point I do pull out I take my long-acting insulin in the morning. So I pull that out and take it. And then if they're a little high, then I'll take just maybe 1 unit of my fast-acting insulin and call that a day. My goal though in the morning is right around 100 to about 120 first thing in the morning. That's where I want to be. So I check first thing in the morning. Then usually I check before lunch. But if I haven't eaten a whole lot, sometimes I wait until after lunch, but I want to know whatever I'm eating, I need to know how much insulin I'm taking. So I usually check before lunch, and then I take my insulin with my lunch based on how many carbs I'm eating. And then depending on what I eat, if I know what I'm eating, if it's one of those things that I eat all the time, I'm not going to worry about checking 2 hours after lunch. But if I am eating out, and you know how that is with carbs, if I'm eating out and I'm not sure exactly that I gave myself enough insulin, I'll check 2 hours after lunch, and then I will actually adjust my insulin then. So if I'm, a little higher than I thought, I'll adjust. I'll take maybe 1 more unit. It kind of depends on what I ate and how that works. And then I check before dinner. So far I'm morning, before lunch, after lunch, before dinner. Again, I want to know where I am, depending on what I eat, how many carbs or how many units of insulin I'm going to take. And then I always check right before bed because I want to adjust to 150. So I want to be about 150 when I fall asleep because I know in general my sugars drop about 50 points overnight. And I say 50, between 30 and 50, it depends on the day. But I adjust to 150. So if I'm 180, 190, I'll take 1 unit to bring me down to kind of that 130, 140 number. So I hope that helps. And again, that bedtime one, I will say, I'm going to say this again, that bedtime one is pretty important because I want to be low for, that 8 hours I'm sleeping. I want to be right in that 100 to 120 range. It really helps your A1C because you're not eating, you don't have those spikes during the night. So again, breakfast or, morning, first thing in the morning, before lunch, maybe 2 hours after lunch, depending on what I eat, dinner before I eat so I know where I'm at, and then right before bed so I can adjust and keep that low overnight. So I hope that helped, and please let me know if there are any questions. I'd love to answer your questions. Thanks.